Hey y'all, come on in, drop where you're from. I love seeing where everybody's coming from, where everybody's at. I'm in South Carolina. My name's Sherelle. I am in the town of friendly people, St. George. It's been a while since I've been, live. Uh, so I'm kind of, I wouldn't say nervous, just a little excited. You know what I'm saying? Just a little excited because I haven't been here in a while. And the fight is real, not the struggle. It's not been a struggle. I've been in the lab working on things. So drop where you're coming from, where you're watching from. Um, I'll do my best not to rush. I know that I've been told that I can talk fast, and I have to slow that down some. It's a really beautiful day. We had some 90-degree weather. Now today it's like 70s, and I actually put on a sweater because it's got a little breeze. So I'm sitting here out here with my lemon tree and sitting on the porch and just enjoying where I am and what I'm doing, just enjoying it. So, like I said, if you're new here, I'm Sherelle. I'm a Gen X mom. I'm down here in South Carolina. I help women who are 40 and above figure out how to actually build income in ways to make things that make sense in real life, right? So I'm not gonna lie. I made a list for myself because when you're in your 50s, when you're in these 50s, in these streets, sometimes that memory goes. So so I made a little list for myself. But yeah, I'm Sherelle. I'm a Gen X mom. I'm here in the South, and I'm here to help women over 40 how to figure out how to actually build income online in ways that make sense, like real life, right? So we're outside. You might hear some cars. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. You might hear some cars passing by. Hi, Darif. How you doing, brother? I haven't been on here in a while, so I'm knocking the cobwebs off. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. So I just want to check in and say hi. Go over the strategy real quick. I'll take my time. But yeah, so we're just going to enjoy outside. You might hear some birds. You might hear some kids. You might hear some cars flying by, but that's all good. So I want to just talk real talk, no pressure, no weird energy. I just want to show something that could actually change how your content is working this week, just this week. Of course, my phone didn't ring all day until just now. We're going to ignore that. We're going to talk about working on your framework. Stay with me to the end. I'm going to walk you through exact framework that I use and you can use immediately. Something that it took me a while to figure out. But I kept working and plugging it behind the scenes, and I was like, "Nah, you've been at this for a while, and I took in all this information, right? Because sometimes you can overwhelm yourself with information. Hello, hey Kendra, hi Janelle, hello, hi my friend McFadden, how are you? It's been a while, right? But I was like, I've been in the lab. I was like, I might not be able to be out right now. Excuse my neighbor's dog, but it just felt too good to sit in the house, so I'm here. I just wanted to go over a few things. And like I said, for those who've been trying to figure this thing out, just stay with me because I'm going to walk you through a little bit. So I got a couple of sections. So I had to make a list for myself because the memory is, it is what it is. But I want to ask y'all something. Have you been posting? Have you been showing up, doing everything that you said you're supposed to be doing? And you creating products? If you get started doing digital products, you're creating content, things you're trying to make things hit, but it's like it's still just sitting there, it's not working, and you're trying to figure out why isn't this working, right? What's happening? What's going on? That's because you're doing something, you're not doing anything wrong, right? You're not doing nothing wrong. It's because nobody gave you the right structure. So a lot of times and I ad lib a little bit. Yes, I made a post for myself to go by, but I also ad lib a little bit. A little bit is back in the 2024, I got introduced to digital products, right? And I was really going hard, and I was taking in the knowledge, and I was taking in all information. The problem is, it was being sold like, do multiple streams and do this and do that and the other. I must not want my mouse. It keeps falling down. But the thing, and there's nothing wrong with that because that's the goal, right? To diversify. The problem is you're taking it all in. Thank you for the hearts. You're taking it all in, and it's too much at one time, and nobody tells you, hey, this doesn't work overnight. Some people do now, but then they weren't really saying that. They weren't saying this takes some time. This is going to be a little bit. Don't expect the results you see on the screen. Some of it's true, some of it's not. Who knows? Only they know. But that aside, it was just like, what am I doing wrong? I must be doing something wrong. So first things first, you've been showing up, right? You're doing everything, and it's like, oh, it's wrong, but that's not the case. It's because you've been doing something. That's not because you've been doing anything wrong as a person. It's because nobody gave you that structure. And most of what's out here is, it's not built for women. I'm talking to the men too, but I'm talking to right now. I'm kind of talking to the women that's 40 and above. So y'all don't judge, But you can still apply. You feel what I'm saying? Like us, it's not built for us. It's built for somebody else. We don't have all day to be online. We got real lives. We got I'm sorry. Most people are creating content that are teacher that teaches, but not content that actually moves people to do something, right? You want to create something that moves someone to action, right? So that was the shift for me. That's the thing that clicked for me, right? Most of us were like just trying to just move because and create all this stuff and create this hype because that's how it kind of came off. So it looked like that's what we were supposed to be doing, but we weren't taught. Wait a minute. Pause for a second. When you teach, people say this was nice and they keep scrolling. But when you shift that, they click and they pause for a second and then they're like, oh, wait a minute. And that's where they realize they were never taught a difference, right? So I kind of came up with something and I hope it's helpful and I hope you can follow me with it, all right? So I want, if you got a pencil or you can make notes in your phone, I want you to write this down. 4 letters, one word, 4 letters. Head, H-E-A-D. Now, don't get crazy and don't be thinking all kind of sidebar things. Stay with me. Tap the screen if this is going to make sense to you. Stay with me. The first letter of the word head, hook. Your hook. What's your hook? Your hook is not about being cute. It's not. It's about being clear. If it's not clear, you lose people and they keep scrolling because you don't have so much time in the first place, right? It should feel like you're calling out to somebody in a good way, right? Not everybody is that right person. So some people are still going to scroll even though you might have a good hook. So, for example, you want to be natural. You don't want to be robotic. You don't want to be robotic about what you're saying. If you've been posting and you're still not making sales, this is why. See how it hits different, right? You see what I'm saying? So let me go back. Your hook is not about being cute. It's about being clear. It should feel like you're calling somebody out in a good way, right? Not everybody the right person, right? Naturally, not robotic. Okay? So if you say something like, if you've been posting and still not making sales, this is why. Right? So that hits different. So you want that engagement. You want to be honest. You want to, if I'm saying making sense, drop a 1. Drop a 1 if I'm making sense. If I'm making sense, drop a 1 for me. I want to make sure that people are staying here. So that was that first letter, head. The first letter is for the word head is H, right? We want to get that hook right. The second letter, engagement. We want to be honest, and we want to look at the word empathy, right? You got to have empathy. This is where you let people know. This is where you get them, right? This is where you get your attention. Not in a poor baby kind of sense. No, I've been there, this, that, that. No, because people don't trust perfection. They trust recognition. They want that empathy. They want to be know that they're being recognized and that they're trying something, whether it's working or not. They need that empathy, right? How you doing? Thanks for coming in. Tap that screen if you don't mind. So, right, that was letter 2. We're at H, right? H for hook, E for empathy. We're going to get to letter A, right? Letter A is activate. Activate. Can't read my own stuff. This is where the shift happens. This is where you shift your people. You help them to see what's possible, not just hear it, right? You paint the picture. What does life look like when this clicks for them? Simple, real, not fantasy. You want to give them real, actual, factual things. You want them to take what they've learned and you want them to be active about it. You want to activate it, right? Put it in. Okay. So we're at what? That was number 3. All right. We have H for head for hook. We have E for empathy. And we got 3. We're gonna activate. All right. So now we're gonna get the number. We're gonna get the letter D. Neighbors. D is direct. You want to be direct. This is where most people mess up. Guilty. Okay. Guilty here too. This is where most people mess up. You have to tell people what to do next. You have to be clear, right? Not hinting, not hoping. Just here is the next step. Be direct. People don't know if you don't tell them. Be direct. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. Right? Engagement is important. So which one do you feel like, and if you stick it with me, have been missing? Is it hooks? Have you been messing up in hooks? Has it been that you haven't been empathetic? Drop it in the chat for me. Is it hooks? Is it empathy? Is it activating, putting things in motion, or just being direct? Tell me. I want to know, like, really, tell me which one's been an issue for you. Hang on a second. I want to move that out of the way. There we go. Natasha, what's been an issue for you? Has it been the hooks? Has it been being empathetic? Has it been not lack of activating or being direct? For me, it's probably a combo in the past. It's been a combo. My hooks were like kind of scary. Like maybe I'm not saying it. Maybe I'm saying it too hard, or maybe I'm coming at them wrong. Not really being certain and sure. So for me, it was hooks and being more direct. So I mean, I have to be honest. That's where it was for me. So let me show you something real quick. Before I made a guide, right? Here's a guide. I wrote a bunch of different products, and a lot of it I would post it and then I would take it back down. I'm getting warm. Take this down. I would post it and I would take it back down. I'm like, nobody wants that. But how did I know if they wanted it or not if I never even gave it the opportunity? Yeah. But you got to get out there, right? You got to get out there to promote, because if you don't promote, they don't know you exist. So what good is all that time, all that energy, all that lack of sleep, all your eyes burning up, staring at the screen, eyes, running tears because you're just tired from staring at the screen. But if nobody knows it exists, then what are we doing, right? So you made guides, you put them in your bio, and nobody did anything. So then let's change that mindset after it. Okay, if you've been showing up and still feeling invisible, this part is for you. I know that feeling too, because I've been there. I was doing the same thing. But your content doesn't need more effort. It needs structure. You need structure. One post done right can change everything. And I'm not talking about you got to go viral. You don't have to go viral for something positive to happen. You don't have to go viral to make income, if that's the goal. The goal is to make income. You don't have to be viral for that. You don't have to have 20,000 followers to make decent income, right? So you don't have to have that. The biggest part is you want to make sure that you stop. Everything is giving an impact, right? You want to hit the impact. You want to make sure that things are clear. Clarity. Got to give clarity. So I do have something that walks you through that step by step. I did make something that you can actually use right away. It is in my BIO. You tap. Actually, I think you can just touch it and it'll open up for you. I would paste it, but I don't know how the algorithm is with that, and I'm not trying to start any problems. So thanks for the flash code too. And thanks for the hearts. Keep touching those hearts. I'm tapping that screen and sharing me out if what I'm saying makes sense. I don't have a problem repeating and going back if you have a question about what I was talking about. Sometimes I talk fast, so if I'm going too fast, say, Sherelle, back it up. What'd you say? I haven't been live yet to promote the business. I saw your post in the community. That's why I joined your live. I hope I'm making sense. I appreciate you seeing the post and coming to the live. I used to go live quite often. I had bought one product that made sense, and a bunch of us got together and decided we was going to start going live, and we did that. And I still see quite a few people from that time frame. That was late 24, early 25. That it helped them, right? I had to stop for a little bit because of health issues that I talked about in the past, but we're not going to go into that. But I just had to pause. But when I paused, I was like, okay, this time when I come back, I want to come back with some information. I want to be able to help people, because you can get caught up in getting lots and lots of, purchasing lots and lots of things and trying to learn a lot. And sometimes they'll say the same things, but differently. Or sometimes it's like they got you right at it where things make sense, and then you lose all the information. They don't say anything else. Everything is like gate kept, and you're like, wait, but what do I do next? What do I do now? And I had a lot of those feelings, and I was like, I created so many products, so, and they're probably good products, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to revamp them and look at them with a better eye, because now I got a better understanding of what I wanted to create, what I was trying to put out. And it's not a rush for a deal or sale. It's more of I really always wanted to help in the first place, but I wanted to understand how to better help. And it was just so much I was taking in at one time. I was absorbing it, but then it got really confusing trying to push it back out. Has anybody ever experienced that feeling? Right? Hi, Jermaine. How are you? Hi, Miss Tavana. How are you? Thanks to y'all for stopping in. So I'm just going over. Like I said, I've not been online in a while. I created lots of products. I pulled back because I wasn't sure about them. Like many people. Thanks for the hearts. I appreciate the hearts, likes, and shares, and the follows. Thank you so much. What else? What I was going to tell you? Um, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back for a second because some people might not have been here. I'm gonna go back and then I'll come back to what I was saying, because a lot of what people have a hard time with posting content, creating content. So a lot of people are making good content and they're not getting it out, and they can't understand why. They can't understand why their content isn't moving, right? And they're thinking, oh, I must be doing something wrong. So this is four letters, one word. We're gonna go back to it. I'm gonna review it one more time, and then we'll go from there. And like I said, if you have any questions, hi King, if you have any questions, drop it in. I have no problem answering questions. I did one interview last year, and someone asked me about AI, and they said, how do you feel about it? And I said, I feel like if you don't learn it, whether you like it or not, if you don't learn it, you're already starting from behind, because you're competing with it in everything. And I didn't get any slack for that. I mean, it's a true statement, right? So, and I wasn't using it to the best of my ability either. So what I'm learning, and as I learn, I want to share what I'm learning. But after writing so many different things, I wrote some projects for homeschooling. I wrote some projects for self-care. I wrote some things about mental health, because at the time we were dealing with that with a family member. But I still couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting that draw. What was I was all over the place. So you really have to niche down. You really have to niche down, whether you want to hear that or not. You really have to niche down and figure out that problem. Whatever that problem is, that pain, there's an answer to it, right? And then, of course, there's like an umbrella, so to speak, and there's usually levels underneath it. But you deal with one pain and one problem at a time instead of trying to do it all at once. So my neighbor's cutting grass, y'all. I told you I had to sit outside. It was too pretty. So I'm sorry if it's a little noisy, but it's natural noise. You hear the birds. Y'all hear? You hear them? So that one word, that four letters, head. 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 You need these things when you're posting. Okay? You need that hook, right? H is for hook. Your hook is not about being cute, it's about being clear, right? You need that. And number 2 is E for empathy. This is where you let them know you get it. You get what they're going through. You get where they've been. You understand, because 9 times out of 10, you've been there yourself, right? So you got your hook and empathize, right? And don't empathize don't BS nobody. You empathize in honesty, right? Share your pains and share what you might have gone through, and so that they understand it, they're not in this by themselves, right? And then the person you want to activate, right? This is when that shift happens. This is when you help people see what's possible. not just hear what's possible, but they can actually see it. They have those aha moments, right? You paint that picture. What does life look like when that clicks for them, right? It's real simple. It's not fantasy. It's real. It's tangible. This is doable. This is no longer maybe. This is actually doable for them, right? Right. So that's what you want to get across in your content. And then direct. You want to be direct. And this is what most people mess up at. I was guilty about this too. Not being direct, not coming out and saying directly who I'm helping, directly what I'm trying to help, who I'm trying to help, and why I'm trying to help. Be direct. You have to tell people what to do next. Clearly, you don't drop hints, right? People don't know hoping. They can't read your mind. People need instructions. I need you to touch the screen and then tap the screen. I need you to share. I need you to tell me what you think. I need you to ask me questions. I might have an answer if you would just ask the question. Where do you go to find me? You go to my circle with my picture on it. You touch that, right? You touch that. Another screen is going to open. You touch that. You want to see what I'm talking about and we'll see where I'm going with things. You touch that. It opens up. You'll see what I'm offering if I'm offering anything, be it classes, courses, school, whatever the case may be. People need direct, clear, concise directions. Okay? So when you do that, hook, empathy, activate, direct. That heads everything. That leads everything. That's the difference between posting and actually building something. That's the start of you really building something. Okay? And that gets that engagement going. Okay? So which one do you feel like you've been missing? Right? I asked this a little while ago, but I'm asking it again. How many of you feel like you've missed your hooks? Your hooks were off, or you weren't putting empathy out there. You weren't really showing true empathy, or you weren't being active in your approach, or telling them to be active, or you weren't being direct. It could be a combination of all of the above, right? You could have been missing a little bit of the hooks, a little bit of the activation. Which one was it for you? Like I said earlier, for me, I realized that my hooks weren't as strong as they could have been. I realized that I had empathy because I can say I was empathetic, maybe not as empathetic as I needed to be, and it really pushed. Hey, you need to activate this. Maybe I wasn't doing that enough too, right? Hi, thank you, Paulette. How are you? Thank you. I appreciate the follow too. Thanks, Natasha, for sticking around. I totally appreciate that. Oh, thank you. It's been a while since I had one of these. Yeah, join my club. It's been a while, y'all. I've not been live in a long, long time. I had some know my story. This is kind of sidebarring off of this a little bit. I had some health issues that we did not see coming. This time last year, we were finding out that I had a brain tumor. This time last year, I was homeschooling my son. So we had to do a lot of changes in a short period of time. But I'm here and I'm talking to you and I'm grateful for that. Totally grateful for that. Had the surgeries, I'm still healing. It's a process. I'm not walking around lost. Just one step at a time. But I had to put this down for a minute and focus. But I'm back. And this time, as long as I'm got a breath in me, I'm gonna keep pushing because, like I said, I had created some things that I was not sure before, but I know can help someone. Because when you're being specific to who you're helping, you might not get everybody. You're going to get the right somebody, right? Look at God. That's right. Yes, I'm glad to be back too. I've been in behind the scenes watching and peeking, but I literally have been in the lab, just taking the best parts of all the information that I have learned in the last year that I wasn't able to apply for a while. And this is off script too. I had my computer with me because I was like, I need my notes. I am a 50 plus woman, right? So I am talking to that 40 plus who's been in the trenches, who's maybe making life changes, who's life changed on them and they had to sit back and they had to reevaluate and just go for it, right? So that's who I'm talking to now. I am that stay-at-home mom. Never thought I would be. I was a career woman first. I am that mom who is a later mom in life. Never thought that was going to happen. But I had my first child at 40. Blessings, right? But it changed everything. So when things change and they keep changing and you keep adapting, I kept telling myself, get used to this new normal, get used to this new normal. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I also got a little complacent because I didn't know which direction to go. And I was like, I can't be the only one. Thank you for the hearts. I can't be the only one thinking that way or feeling that way. You know, I'm still worth plenty. I still got something in me and I still got plenty to share. Right. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm like, okay, I'm not giving up. Hello, Black Life. How are you? I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. You know, I get a little quiet when I'm learning. That's a true statement. That's a real true statement. Y'all, it was so hot. We had 90 degrees 2 days ago. Today is like 70s, but it's, you know, I had to put on a thing because 70 felt good until the wind started blowing. Sidebar, sorry. That's that brain thing going. But yeah, I am been really working with behind the scenes, going back through my notes, keeping the good, removing the repeats, and really seeing, you know, what can be adapted and what can be changed. Really niching it down and focusing on. You had your last one at 42, child. I had that first one at 40. Best blessing ever. Okay, so I'm glad, but it's different though. I don't know if you had how many you had before that 40, but that last one right, that 40, your body different. Your thought process is different. You just roll different. You just roll different. I'm telling you, for real. Thank you for the crown. I appreciate that. Hi, Luxury. How are you? I told you. I'm not going. I had to pause. Your girl had to pause. I was talking about you basically earlier. If you were watching the live earlier, I was talking about going live and how a little over a year ago, a group of us got with someone who really taught us how to get comfortable going live. And I had to pause on live because of all the health stuff and the wildness. Hey, y'all, I'm sitting outside on my porch because it's beautiful out here today. I'm in South Carolina. It's a beautiful day. It's not too hot, so I'm enjoying it. So, yeah, so I was talking about I hadn't been live in a while, but at the same time, I was behind the scenes reevaluating and still working on my craft, still working on what I thought. Thank you for the heart, y'all. And you have 5. Girl, at a different time in my life, I probably would have had about 2 or 3. But, you know, I was blessed with the one because I didn't think I was going to have that one. I inherited 2 older sons. I always wanted to be a boy mom. I don't even know why, but I love it. And now he's like, I got a 5'5", 12-year-old, almost 150 pounds, and he's solid. And his dad, I don't even know where that came from. I blinked and he picked me up today. My mommy heart was like, how could you possibly be picking me up? What? My husband's calling now, but I'm going to decline him. Sorry, honey. What? My husband's calling now, but I'm going to decline him. Sorry, honey. It's his born day. I'm going to have to decline because he doesn't know I'm doing live. He'll probably call our son. And I hope I didn't lose y'all with him doing that. But yes. So I'm going to go back one more time. Maybe one more time. Can you see me? Can y'all see me okay? Am I y'all tell me, drop a 1 and let me know if you can hear me. Okay, there it goes. Because the screen had locked up. So sorry about that. So yes, I'm sitting here next to my lemon tree because y'all know I love to talk about my fruit and my vegetables. Look at my lemon tree. That she's traveled with me and done some beautiful things, and I'm hoping she's coming back. Somebody's cutting grass, so it's a little loud, but that's all good. I'm sitting in my country setting. I'm loving it. But yeah, in the middle of me creating this last group of things, I decided to come up with a series. And with that series, it actually started with heart work, to be honest. It started with heart work, HEART work, because I was going through filtering myself, right? And I was sifting for myself, and I was playing things back and looking, nothing with like, poor me, woe is me, just simply, these are the gems you have. Somewhere in there, you let things kind of push you down a little bit, but you've been brought through so much. You've been blessed to get through so much, right? All right, let's pull these gems out. Someone out there needs that uplifting. Someone out there needs to know it's okay to start over at 40. It's okay to start over at 50. Or if it's not starting over, add 2. You know, some people need to create extra income to add on or to replace. For some of us, it's, you know, we're looking at retirement different because when we were in our 20s, retirement seemed forever ago. But when you're in your 50s or plus and you're still working hard, that retirement might not look as good as it used to look. In my case, retirement got put to the side when I had to sit home with all of these things that we never saw coming. So coming up with a different way, and like, okay, now I got to get creative and work around this system that's not designed for me to be sitting home. You know what I mean? I wasn't supposed to be sitting home. I'm supposed to be still clocking that clock. And I'm not knocking nobody for clocking the clock. You got to do what you got to do. But it made me think outside the box, and it made me say, okay, I really got to do the work. This has to come from my heart, right? From my heart. I'm already thinking, but I'm overthinking. From my heart, what am I getting out of this, right? And that's where heart work came from. And then from that, if you know anything about me, you usually see something that says mockingbird, because I love mockingbirds. I love the fact that they're like this big. If you ever saw them, you hear them sing all the time. They collectively stay together, right? They collectively communicate through song. They strong that way. They're protective, as small as they are, of each other. And my guy, when he was little, was a lot like that and following me around. So I always called him my little mockingbird. So that's where that comes from. So there's always a connection. But in that's where heart work came from, because I was literally resifting through myself, saying, okay, what can you do in this? What lessons have you learned in this that you can share with someone else and maybe pull them out of that trench that they're in, that stuck that they might feel, right? Because that stuck is real. Please tap the screen and drop a 1 right now if you have you ever been stuck and you are like trying so hard to figure out how to get unstuck, and you are trying all the different things, but the stuck is just not going anywhere. I cannot be the only one that has ever felt that way. I know I'm not. And you're doing all the things. You're doing all the right things, right? You're following up. You're putting out content, posting constantly, creating all these things, and you just feel like you're not moving. You're not moving. Drop a 1 for me if that resonates with you, right? I want to keep engaging. I'd love for us to keep engaging. I'm not gonna leave anymore. I'm gonna keep coming back, and I'm just gonna keep giving whatever value I can give. If somebody has questions, I'm okay with that too. Y'all, I'm an open book, like, for real. When you've lived 50 plus years, you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot. You've probably been through a lot. You've got something to say. And that's not knocking anybody under 50. Trust me, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that your life experiences have reached an area that you probably weren't even expecting, because you just don't. Because 50 comes quick. It comes real quick. I'm for real about that. So yeah, if you like what I'm saying, please continue to tap that screen. Please share it out, post it out to a friend, whatever the case may be. I'm for it. But I'm going to go back and we're going to talk. So I know I can get off my little thing a little bit. I'm off my soapbox. But yes, I created lots of product, and I wasn't sure enough about them. Not that they were bad product. I wasn't sure enough. No, I won't say about the product. I wasn't sure enough about myself sharing the product, that I allowed myself to downplay and no longer push out. I allowed myself to say, you know what, maybe not. It's not good enough. It's not perfect enough. Let me just keep revamping. How many days and hours and how much time did I lose doing that, and not just putting it out? Sometimes you got to put it out messy. You can always clean it up. You can always make it better. You can always put it out and see see what people feel or think about what you've done. And more often than not, it will be something, right? Hi, Ann. More than likely, it will be something that somebody needed, and it just went over your head because you were so focused and thinking, I gotta make it perfect. I gotta make it 100% pure. I gotta make it all these things. I say all that to say, don't be afraid to try. Don't give up. It might take you longer than expected. That's a very real thing. It may not come as fast as you want it. That whole quick. I didn't fall for that. I never felt like everything was going to be quick. I knew I was going to have to put in the work. but there were so many loose ends. So I'm here now seeing the loose ends and learning how to tie them together, right? That part I'm learning. Hi Deborah, thank you. Thanks for giving my shout out. Yeah, I'm giving you a shout out, Deborah. Thanks for sticking around. I know what I have learned is to not look at the numbers, to not worry about that stuff. I learned to just get your message, put it out there. It's for who it's for. The right people, it's for. And that doesn't make anybody else wrong. It just means it's not for them. And in my case, this is us 40 plus women, 50 plus in some cases, that are reinventing ourselves out loud. We're not shrinking back. We're not going in the corner. We're not giving in. We're not tiring out. You know, our voices need to be heard. We've got a lot of value. We've got a lot of experiences, and we can help the ones right behind us, right? So when they get here, it's not as scary or not as lonely or whatever the case may be, because these days are different. Times is different. So I've been on here a little while. I'm gonna continue to create product. I am gonna come on here more often. I will share this particular lesson about HEAD, HEAD, because I feel like it can truly help someone, especially if they're putting out product and they're not sure why it's not landing. Those 4 letters, HEAD, head. H is for hook, E is for what? Empathy. A is for activating, and D is for being direct, right? Be direct. So if you have a question about any of those things that I just said, each of the letters, one of them, that's fine. I'm happy to answer any questions. Anything that you have, I am totally okay with. I'm re-engaging because I've been out of the loop for a little bit. I've been around and I've been creating, but I've been out of the loop. But I'm here, and my goal is to continue to post. My goal is to continue to give hopefully good and valuable advice, and just reconnect, right? That's the goal, is to reconnect. So it's not about being perfect. I'm looking at my notes. I'm just making sure I didn't forget anything. Let's see. Nope, I didn't forget anything. I actually went over some things I didn't even know I was going to say to you, but that's all good. It's all good. Any questions for me? Any questions about even going live? Any of that? If not, I'm gonna sit down. Well, actually stand up. I'm gonna go and get back in the lab so I can post some more stuff, because I learned a lot of stuff in a short period of time. I went from learning a lot of just to now it's like a lot of eureka moments. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to be sharing all those things. So if I cannot answer any questions, somebody sending me something. Sending messages a different way. I'll take it. Okay, I'll answer that. I'll send you a message back. I'll do it that way. Since you send it that way, I'll do it that way. No problem. No problem at all. Hey, how are you? That's what we do. All right. Well, I will be seeing you soon. Until then, I hope you have a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are. I hope the weather is beautiful for you. Enjoy it.